She's so fine. Hell of her blows my mind. Hell of her lights my day.
What's good, guys? Today is Monday, January the 4th, 2021. Back in October, I covered a story on this channel about Joel Jenkins. He was shot to death at a CTA station in Rogers Park. This is his mother, Cynthia Howard, and his daughter, Anaya, who's 8 years old. That's his daughter holding his urn. That's a picture from his funeral. Again, his daughter and his mother. And his sister and his mother. I'm going to briefly go over this story just to kind of refresh your memory. Cynthia Howard believes her son was shot because he used to sell drugs in Rogers Park, but was no longer allowed there by gang members. She says he was putting that life behind him, but it was still caught up with him. He was born in Evanston on Christmas Day, the third of 4 children. Learned to hold his own in elementary school by defending his nephew and brother from bullies on the west side. He stayed up north during his teen years, then went back west. He and his friends liked to take trips downtown. They rode the water taxi without a destination just to see the sights. His father wasn't around, but his half-brother's father and his oldest sister, Carolyn, helped raise him. Still, his childhood was unsteady, with his mother slipping in and out of addiction. She got a divorce before Jenkins entered high school and relapsed yet again. We moved to Rogers Park after the divorce. I went into recovery. I got myself together. I got an apartment. I put Joel in school at Sullivan. I did some security work at the high school, she said, and then I relapsed again. I feel during that time I lost my son to the street. In his junior year, Jenkins asked one of the local gangs if he could join. He needed support, his mother said. They wouldn't let him. They told him that he wasn't made for the gang, Howard said. He was fine the way he was, and they gave him permission to sell drugs in that area, which is really not heard of. It's against street rules. So at 16, he started dealing marijuana and crack cocaine. Chicago police labeled Jenkins as a member of a gangster disciples faction known to be in Rogers Park, but his mother said he never became a member. He sold drugs and made rap videos, but he wasn't violent, she said. Howard and Jenkins moved out of Rogers Park in 2013. 2 years later, Howard said she got clean for real. She set rules for her son. No drugs or girls in the house. But Jenkins was an adult now, and he had his own belief system and became addicted to the lifestyle. He wanted to be independent. The group of gang members who had allowed him to sell in their area went to jail, she said. Those still on the street didn't want him around, so she warned him to stop going up to Rogers Park, especially after seeing several killings in the neighborhood on the news. She would even drive to pick him up at Morse Avenue if she heard he was there. I tried my best to save my son. Eventually, he started to phase out of dealing and moved to the north suburbs with his girlfriend. They thought about moving to Arizona, but the answer to where he was from was always the same, Rogers Park. For the last year and a half, Jenkins had been holding down his first real job, which was difficult to get after his arrest, mostly for possession and theft. His boss even spoke at his funeral. His girlfriend, Dominique Douglas, scrolls through videos of him dropping off flowers, being playful with his youngest son, giving her a kiss on the cheek. She said Jenkins wasn't originally planning to be in the neighborhood on the day he was killed. He didn't visit as much because of the long commute to his job at the Family Dollar store on the west side. That's a picture of him and his girlfriend. Beautiful girl. And nice looking guy. He was a nice looking man. The day before he started to get a head cold, Douglas asked him to call in sick and stay home since she was off work. He decided against it. He needed the money. He left for work in the morning. He texts her throughout the day about buying her a puppy. He found a woman who was selling a young black and white pit bull, and he would have enough money to buy it if he got money back from a friend who owed him. They decided to meet in Rogers Park. Douglas took the Metro to meet him and his friend at Morris Fresh Market to get the money for the dog. They made 2 stops at 2 storefronts on Morse before they walked toward the train station. She handed him his jacket, then remembers Jenkins running. I've never seen him run or look like that scared in his entire life, she said. They dove into the train station. He crawled toward a pillar, and she tried to go behind the turnstile. A car screeched off, and police sirens blared. Douglas said she saw the shot-out door and Jenkins lying on his stomach. He rolled over and tried to stand up. "Bae, you got hit?" "No, no, no," she said. She grabbed her purse and called 911. She lifted his shirt but couldn't find a wound. "I'm telling him to stay with me." She yelled for help. A man visiting from Philadelphia helped her with CPR until an officer tagged him off. Another man held Jenkins' head. "Oh my God, this isn't real," Douglas thought to herself. Paramedics arrived and took over and transported him to Amita Health St. Francis Hospital in Evanston, where he died. "I was standing there so helpless, praying to God that he was okay," Douglas said. That's actually a picture of Joel Jenkins being transported to the ambulance. According to Chicago police, a man in a white hoodie approached Jenkins and Douglas as they stood on the sidewalk outside the station and started shooting. The man then ran east on Morris and got into a black Nissan Infiniti waiting on Glenwood. A squad car chased the Infiniti until a supervisor terminated the chase when it started south down Sheridan Road. Jenkins was shot in the abdomen, lower back, and left side and had a graze wound to his right thigh, according to the report. 6 .40 caliber shell casings and 1 unfired cartridge were found at the scene. He was among 8 people killed in the Rogers Park Police District that last year. Others included a 20-year-old DePaul University student who was walking home from work, a 17-year-old activist who was accidentally shot by a friend aiming at a passing car, and a 36-year-old man whose fatal shooting was captured on security photo and spread on social media. So the story was about his mom and his sister and daughter visiting Rogers Park for the first time since he had been killed. So I want to remind you guys of how I operate things over here on this channel. I will contact, if I read a story about someone that I want to cover on the channel, I will try to contact someone from the family or someone that's mentioned in the article. Just try to get a hold of them and be as respectful as I possibly can, because I'm speaking about their loved one. And I just think it's respectful, period. So what I did was I contacted his mother before I did the story on my channel. And I'll show that on the screen now. But I just sent her a message and told her that I was had a small YouTube channel and that I had read about her son's story in the Chicago Tribune. And I think I contacted her on November the 2nd. And that I wanted to do a story on him. And then that I was going to do a story on him. I did it. And then I attached the YouTube video to my message to her on Facebook. And because we're not friends, she didn't see it immediately. It kind of stinks when you're not friends with any of these people, because if they're not looking for it, they're probably not going to see your message. But she actually contacted me a couple of days ago, and I'll show that as well on the screen, and was very nice, very kind. She did not have to message me back. Super, super nice for her to do that. And then I noticed something else. I had received a message from his actual girlfriend from the story. She said, "This was the worst day of my life. Imagine being happy, going to get a puppy, then being told the love of your life is going to the morgue. It's ridiculous. The stupidest shit ever. He just wanted to get me a puppy. God, I miss him so much. Thank you for sharing this. Be blessed and safe. Chicago loves no one." And I commented back to her. So I thought that was neat enough to bring to the channel. I usually try to do this if I catch it. This is not the first time this has happened, but I just thought it was really nice for her to comment on the video. She didn't have to do that either. And I do pray for that family every night, because I thought it was a horrible story. So I just wanted to bring that update to the channel, and hopefully they catch somebody. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you.